each of you, and I see the marks of this long and terrible war.
Finally, we got a laser battle.
If we die tonight, mankind dies with us.
That's the same guy from Planet
The machine sent a Terminator back to the time before the war to kill my mother, Sarah Connor. Sir, let me say what you're doing right now. This is the end of the war.
This is like a sequel slash prequel or something.
Take care of it for me, Connor.
Okay, who's this guy?
Come with me if you want to live.
Sarah? An Asian T-1000? You gotta be kidding me.
This is all wrong. John sent me here to save you.
From the Terminator that was sent back to kill me, I know, but we already took care of him.
We? I've been waiting for you.
You gotta be kidding me. This is where they're going?
The time John sent you to, it no longer exists.
Okay, that was kind of
changed.
That's
we
a way
can
to stop
Judgment Day from happening. Run! Where is he?
Okay.
I'll be back.
What?
Look at Arnold. Okay. I have to say that I guess what they're going with this is the best way to keep Arnold Schwarzenegger in the film is to allow him to age. But with this one, I think the plot is that the timeline is still the same like the first 4 films. Like when John Connor was before he was conceived, and he was trying to get assassinated by a Terminator sent back in 1984. And then in 1991, when that film Terminator T2 came out, he was targeted by a T-1000 at the age of 13. And then on T3, he was already an adolescent, actually an adult, who just pretty much tried to hide away from other people in society. So they pretty much went after his lieutenants. Then 4 came, and then he was just getting in the middle of the battle between machines. It's about 2:18, I believe, where they fight, and they pretty much brawl it out. But this one, I guess what they're doing is they're trying to give Sarah Connor a more active, action-packed role of actually stopping Judgment Day, since Sarah Connor was killed in T3, but originally Linda Hamilton just didn't want to reprise her role because, hey, she aged. So ain't nothing wrong with Linda Hamilton. She's still a great actress, but I wish she would have gotten in T3. That would have been a much better film if she was still with that, but that's another story. So far, based on the trailer, I believe it should be interesting, but even though it got confusing to many other people about what the plot was and why was the Terminator very old, well, basically what I can put together is there's 2 alternate timelines, and this Kyle Reese was sent back into a timeline that's been altered by a timeline from the alternate world where the young Sarah Connor, like we saw, was carried away from the cabin, which was blown up to bits by young Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you don't see her face, his face, but the back of his head while he's carrying her out of there. So I'm guessing that they sent 2 Terminators back through time. Not just the time when 1984, but also another time when Sarah Connor was only like 13, same age as John Connor was when they sent the T-1000 after him, the same age. So my figure is there was 2 T-1000s, one sent in Terminator 2 and the other one sent back before 1984. And this must be the Asian T-1000 that's after him. But somehow he wasn't able to kill him. And he somehow stayed alive throughout the years when Sarah Connor was around. So they must have been hiding out. And while they were hiding out, the Terminator taught Sarah Connor what was going to happen in the timeline A, while timeline B was starting to take shift. So when we take a look at Kyle Reese when he made it back in 1984, that report looked just like he saw in Terminator in 1984. Plot was the same, but then you see the T-1000 looking for him. So I guess that he was sent back to kill Kyle Reese, so that way he can't conceive a child with Sarah Connor, which will be John Connor. So I guess the T-1000 must have learned that from the alternate world, alternate universe, when he was sent back, and all the knowledge that came forth. So I guess that must be the situation with that. So that's why Sarah wouldn't save Kyle, because he didn't want him to kill Kyle, because if Sarah didn't save Kyle, then he'd be dead. And as for the Terminator that was sent back to kill Sarah Connor in 1984, the old Terminator that was her protector, a guardian from when she was a little girl, took care of him. So I guess we're going to see no less CGI of Arnold Schwarzenegger like the one we saw in Terminator Salvation. So we're going to see him being taken out. But it might be about 1 to 2 minutes of him taking out the Terminator. But it should be interesting, him killing his own self. So that's kind of a good thing I like about him killing his own self. That should be a good thing. And the second thing is, it seemed to return to T-1000, but still it's no Robert Patrick. I know how they went with this Asian T-1000 because they're trying to mimic the look of Robert Patrick. And they almost got it, but to me, it's not going to be the same. But I like how T-1000 just rushed through the window like that and just cut off one of his metal arms and just threw it like a spear. Now that was kind of interesting, it really was. And as for the brawl, what we saw, a little short brawl of when the old Terminator fought the T-1000. You don't see it much, but you saw when he jumped through the vending machine into the wall. It's very cool. I think they're going to have a little spat, just like they had in T2 when they fought. When the first time when John Connor interacted two Terminators, one going after him, one going at the same time. But that's another film. But overall, I think this should be an interesting film, but still, they will never top Terminator 1 and 2 because that's James Cameron's brand. They will never ever top that. But I believe that this will beat Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation guaranteed. So far, based on what I saw, it will be the third best Terminator film after T1 and T2. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I'm glad to see Arnold Schwarzenegger back in and him acting his age. So I'm glad to stop making him younger, just let him grow the age he is. So I'm glad to see that going on. And you never know, you might see a cameo of some older folks coming in. You never know, maybe Linda Hamilton might pop up, or Michael Biehn. Maybe in some kind of other alternate universe, but hey, you never know. So this is my review, and I give it 2 thumbs up. So I wish everybody well, and can't wait to see this film. So yeah, until then, I'll see y'all later.